Like seasons, war always return. Every 274.5 years, evil rises to destroy all life. Orcs and humans then set aside their differences to protect their world. Each time, the evil was defeated. Each time, life returned to normal. But a calendar mistake changed everything. Evil emerged 2 years too early, catching the living off guard. We were not prepared. The schools of magic were the first to fall, throwing the world into chaos. Your studies ended prematurely. Now you are one of the last guardians of immeasurable amount of knowledge. It is your duty to preserve it, but above all, to share it.
Can you rename the rooms? I would definitely want to be a portal. I don't think you can, Sweet Orange Bunny. I don't believe you can. Okay, now, I'm going to say this. If we do the naming game thing, understand that you, in addition to using backseat passes, which you're encouraged to do, understand that I will probably not see them unless you draw my attention to them very incessantly. Because they are going to be buried underneath naming game requests. So, understand what you're asking for here. I can see a load of people dumping naming games in there already, and that's fine because they can be used for the teacher. But what do you want, chat? Do you want to name every student, or do you want just the teachers? Do you want to find out who becomes the peasant farmers? Teachers for your sake. That's very, very kind of you. George Gorge guards engorged gourds. Yes. Yes, I agree. Teachers, don't name every student. We'll be here all year. We will actually totally be here all year. Teachers or a student every X events. We can maybe see how that goes. Okay, fair enough then. That sounds like a fairly good setup. I'll just be grabbing naming games because we're going to need a lot of them. We won't do the random stuff. Right, new campaign. Tonk. Difficulty level. Novice, Acolyte, Sorcerer, Mage, or Archmage. I think it's been a while, so I'm going to go with Sorcerer. Yeah, we'll go with Sorcerer. So we'll just have normal growth requirements, but I really don't feel that I need any help with this. That is being said, I haven't completed the game once. It's a very long game, especially the way I play it. Make a 100k point reward for having a student named after you. Wow. Chad, remember this day. Remember this day, Chad. Remember the day the Demi of Derp encouraged me to increase the cost of naming game. Or rather, to create a class system amongst the Dapplings. Not all Dapplings are born equal. From this day forth, Demi of Derp has decreed that there will be the Dapper Elite, Gentry, who have pockets full of ducats, and then everyone else, who will shuffle coal. That's it. You have the Timmies and you have the Scrooges. There is no in-between. But difficulty level we'll leave on Sorcerer. Game length. Now, the interesting thing with this, normal, it's just normal. You can go with shorter, and that means that the forces of evil will get here a lot faster, but your students will learn a bit quicker too. Or you can go really long, and it'll slow the forces of evil progress down, but will also slow the learning rate down. Generally speaking, short games are super short. Long games are, well, obviously super long. But because of the learning rate adjustment, it doesn't it isn't quite a one-to-one because they aren't adjusted by the same thing. But also, I would actually say because Marathon the way that Marathon works is it slows the progress that the Army of Evil does, your doom clock, okay? Doesn't slow time, just slows the doom clock. And because students will graduate based on time, not on the progress of the evil army, you'll get more graduations per map. Graduations can turn into snowballing, stacking effects. The learning rate decrease does mean that it'll be harder to get better futures, yes. Oh, habitual of I know how long it took them. I am actually familiar with the game, quite familiar. I've got a very solid understanding of where the times are. But the thing with marathon games, you have to be a lot better with the planning of your school to get the very good futures, because it takes your students so much longer to learn. So you have to stack up the efficiency on the rooms so that they learn faster still. But because more people will graduate, you'll have more opportunity to have a ramping snowball effect of the graduation futures. Because every time a student graduates, they can have an immediate effect, which is like, here's some mana that you can use to buy a room. Or they can have a permanent effect, like teachers are now 1% better at doing their job. Well, if you can get 50% more people graduating each map, that means you got, half again as many permanent upgrades potentially. And because they kind of all stack together, you can end up with incredible percentage increases to certain things, which can really, really drive things forward. Additionally, because once again, this only affects learning rate, not the rate at which you accrue standing with the various factions in the game, so on and so forth, you have a lot more opportunity to use the other factions and your goodwill with them to forestall the forces of evil. So you can push a single map out to much, much more than just, 50% more playtime, if you play it well. Yeah, even more time to get quests completed. Yeah. So I'm actually going to jump on Marathon because, frankly, it'll give me more of an opportunity to showcase things. And like I said, this game is basically an Aavak anecdote generator. There will be lots of times when I'm just going to chat about stuff that this game reminds me about from school. Right, okay, so we're not going to run out with any challenge rules, but there are challenges if you want. Also, there is a DLC coming soon. I have no idea what is going to be in it, other than it exists and will be soon. Marathon might not end before you... Oh, no, absolutely. Marathon will probably not end, depending on the way I play. Because I will, for the beginning at least, while I'm explaining it to people who aren't familiar with the game, we're going to be playing at one-time speed. So, yeah. This is going to be interesting. Marathon is complicated and you need to know what you are doing. Therefore, which one does Aavak pick? Marathon, of course, because Aavak knows what he's doing. I know! Shock horror! This is one of those games where I'm actually going into it with a reasonable depth of knowledge on the mechanics. This is not a this is not a case where I'm learning the game. Well, there we go. Those are the settings. Now, we're going to go on to probably one of the most important things. We've got to name our university and get a glorious coat of arms. Arcane Agricultural Academy. That is actually not bad. Okay. Chat, do you want our school great? Or are we going for a play on the fact that half of our students are going to become peasant farmers? Our school great is the motto. That is a cool one. Yes, no, that was good. I like that. Arcane Agricultural Academy. Perfect. Right, now we need to find something suitably arcane and agricultural. Illowing, maybe, because it almost looks like a flower. We've got an apple. We can change the apple to red, because why not? There we are. Oh, did I misspell it? Arcane. Oh, yeah. Thank you. This is the AAA University. AAA-U. Have I spelled that right now? Perfect. Right, and for the colors, let's go with a bright green in the middle and then a duller green around the back. If we do that, though, maybe go for more of a yellowish green apple. I don't know. Because, like, a bright red apple is actually fairly uncommon. You're going to get more of a yellowy apple there. There we go. Purple apple because magic. That's a fair point. Yeah, we can have a purple apple. Well, the purple is never really that purple in this game, I've found. Let's find the purple. The purplest. A ginger from Gallifrey. Turning off chat so I can snooze and listen to Aavak. Night all. Good night, mate. You take care now. Did Snow White's evil queen study here? Might have, actually, yeah. Are we settled on this? Golden apple of knowledge? Oh, my lord. Octarine apple. We could also now just... Ow! That's actually not too bad, but there we are. University of Stubbed Toes, yes. AU gold! Wow, we're all forced together! Are you okay, Aavak? I think I am, Meridian. Why? Oh, there you are. Never mind. What? Right, okay. This is our school. Ptunk. Alright. Now, we can start in 3 places, but there are quite a lot in total, and you'll unlock more as you go. Hey, Mr. Valdir. Oh, that's an incredibly cute emote, my lord. The village. New students are on average richer. The famous local minstrel might cause trouble. Or the forest. New students are on average poorer than elsewhere. More students are werewolves. The ancient troll might cause trouble, but it's got a large buildable area. The lake. Longer trip to school. Special opportunities with the creature of the lake. Rather limited building area. I think we should start at the lake, though. Quite a few people want forests. Where do we find farmers? We find peasant farmers everywhere. I'm not going to put up a vote. I'm just going to generally take a guess of where people are. Demi of Drip, you need the poor forest farm. Okay, poor forest farmers it is. Forest we're going to. Okay. A Sylvan Citadel. The kingdom's great forests are known for the giant millennium trees. We'll be at home here. Legends say that elves used to live in these woods, but everyone knows that elves don't exist. The local population lives more simply than the rest of the kingdom, so do not expect any rich students. Wood people. Students are poorer than usual, but have a higher chance of being werewolves. This place is full of magical creatures. We can get the stable and the fawn card. That's actually not a bad one. We'll need a lot of gold if students are poor. We'll get a load of extra gold for building up the university to start with. And we shall do everything in our power to make our students' futures magnificent. Draw the card Counselor's Office. Draw the card Trophy Case. Elves don't exist, says the Wizard School game. I know, right? I'm going to say probably the magical creatures so that we can start dumping into nature early. Because we'll get a stable which will teach beast magic, and a fawn which will help with our teachers. Okay, let's go. Right, we're going to pause this right here. This up here is the Lord of Evil's army march. It will be slower than in a standard game. It'll be quite solid, though. Our peeps do not have very far to travel from the... Wow, the little detail on that sign. I never noticed that before. From the town to get to the school. But we've got a decent amount of room to build in here. Now, one of the things to understand about this game is teachers and students alike have to satisfy their needs. One of their needs is sleep. One of their needs is food. They also have like boredom, which is more of a malice than a need. Like, they'll get tired, they'll get hungry, they'll get bored, they'll get mentally unhinged. Their sanity is a stat that they track. And their health. They need to satisfy these needs. You know, they need to restore their health, restore their sanity, reduce their boredom, reduce their tiredness, and reduce their hunger. If they can't do that at school, they'll go home to do it and then come back. Generally speaking, you want to try and minimize the time they don't spend in school, because time not spent in school is time not spent in class, which is time not building up towards their grand futures. So that's kind of something that we want to work on. Now, we've got a dormitory, which will allow 5 students, or up to 5 students, to restore their tiredness. Students' hall, which will allow up to 5 students to reduce their boredom. Refectory, allows 10 students to reduce their hunger. And we have nothing as yet for dealing with teachers, but the fawn, this creature wanders the school and greatly decreases the growth rate. It doesn't drop it, but it slows down how quickly it grows. Of tiredness, hunger, and boredom for nearby teachers for a long time. This one is a pretty useful one early on, because getting the right buildings to be able to reduce teacher needs is kind of a pain. And if a teacher has had to go to the town to restore their needs, they're not here to teach their class, which means that class doesn't get taught for a while, which might mean that, again, time isn't being spent taking care of that. So the first thing we're going to do while it's paused is we're going to grab some cards for building out the school. Now, an arcane room is great because it'll teach... whereas the stable teaches specifically beast magic, which is... Each school of magic has 3 different elements. Arcane is a school of magic. Beast magic is a subtype of the nature school of magic. We've got 5 schools of magic: nature, light, shadow, arcane, and alchemy. An arcane room, or a light room, or a shadow room teaches all 3, but it teaches them slowly. Whereas something which is specialized in a subtype of a school will teach that one thing very quickly. We've also got a teacher's lounge, which is amazing. A room where teachers can lower their hunger, tiredness, and boredom while healing and increasing sanity. This is amazing. We're going to straight up take that. Right, that should take care of our teachers for a while. Now, the other thing to pay attention to is these. Tells us what we can put in the room as decorations. This one can have like a painting. This one can have like an artifact. This one can have a wall item. This one can have a wall item. This is a decoration. So at this point, we've got nature there. I'm going to say let's grab... Sure, let's double down. Let's go full bore on nature there. Now we've got a shadow room, a student's hall, a private apartments. In this room, your teachers can rest, which can take care of all of their needs or prepare their next class. Teachers who sleep at school have more time to work. But at this point, I think we would like another school. Another school of magic. So let's grab the shadow magic. Let's make dark druids. Let's have a school of dark druids. Now, we're not locked into these. We can keep going as we go, but you are welcome to roleplay. This is a strategy game in a way, and you can approach it like a strategy game, picking the best things and trying to be efficient. Or you can just play this as make your own magical school roleplay game, and you can just do this as you want. And I very much favor the latter with a little bit of the former, because I do know the mechanics of the game. So I will make decisions that, like picking the stable and fawn, because I knew that would give me something which would help with my teachers staying at school longer. But yeah, we can make a school of dark druids, shadow druids. It's going to be great. Can I buy the first nature teacher? No, but you can put your name in the hat. You can, however, buy my happiness with those 1,000 bits. And can I just tell you right now, that was an amazing purchase. I've only got a limited amount of happiness to give away, and you just purchased premium S-tier happiness. It comes in a little gift-wrapped box and everything. The inside of the box is inlaid with velvet. The happiness is kind of arranged artisanally on show, so you can open up, it plays a little tune and everything. We don't have a sorting hat. We have a naming hat. We do. Right. Okay, so we're going to grab a shadow room. Now, there is, again, strategy in everything you build. There's whole building areas that are available, and it also goes up. And the way that we put things together will make a difference. People have to move around. You'll see it when we unpause. But I like to generally have floors of a specific type of nature. So, for example, you could have a utility floor along the bottom, which would have dormitories, refectories, lounges, so on and so forth. Then an actual education floor, which would only have buildings that perform some sort of teaching role. Because there are items in the game which will affect all buildings on their floor, which might increase the efficiency of all buildings on the floor. There are also items that will affect all buildings adjacent to the building where it's placed. So having a little bit of foreknowledge about how the game works and what kind of things you can expect really does affect your placement. I think we're going to go with... let's pop down a refectory. Right there. It's a nice big 2-wide building, and I love the way it builds the roofs. It's so glorious. We'll then have a student's hall. Actually, this is another thing I should point out, actually. You'll notice that the buildings themselves... Oh. Hello, Tilly. Did she come and bug you? You didn't want food, you just wanted to come in here. Oh, sweetie pie. You want to come and say hello again? Tilly wanted to come back in and say hello to you, Chad. She went and got Lady Sheilab to get Lady Sheilab out of bed, brought her downstairs, not to take her to the food bowl, but to actually demand that she let her in my office. Tilly demands more fame. Tilly does demand more fame. Okay, thank you, Sheilab. Oh, I feel bad. Tilly, you woke Sheilab up. Right, so one of the things I would like to demonstrate, if we go into the help book, I believe this should have buildings in here somewhere. Does it show all of the buildings in here? This is the encyclopedia, by the way. Very useful. Maybe it'll have it over here. All right, so here. A room's access points are shown in the blue on the side and or back. Some rooms have no stairs at the back and are only accessible from the sides, or vice versa. Be careful not to block access when placing them. So, with that in mind, this building, the Students' Hall, I wonder if I can... There we are. Only has access from the back, so it can only be accessed from up or down, because there's basically a stairwell that accesses it from the back. The dormitory has a stairwell and access from the sides. So we can't build the student hall down here. That's fine. We can build the student hall above it. That's okay. We'll have the hall up there. This is going to be the hall for the various houses. So I guess what we'll have next then is the dormitory. That can go there. Patonk. Teacher's lounge. And I think the teacher's lounge can go... Do the teachers want to sleep next to the noisy, smelly students? No, I don't think so. I think the teachers demand a little bit of privacy. But this is the first room. This is an education room, and every room you place that is a teaching room will come with a teacher. Well, with one exception that I'm aware of. So, Beast the Magic Teacher. Nicholas or Francis? O'Connor. I like that. Sanity, health, they're all the same. Now, they will come with various stats. Ones on this side are positive, generally, and ones on this side are negative, generally. Blue ones can never be removed. I guess it's more of like a greyish tan. These can be adjusted and removed. If it's blue, it is locked in, and nothing that removes negative or adds positive or removes positive for that matter can remove those. These are integral to the character. We've also got their alignment. Now, for a teacher, alignment will match up. So, for example, neutral. The needs of neutral students in the class grow 10% slower, and the good students in the class learn 10% faster because this is a neutral good character. They're mediocre at pedagogy, which lowers the students' learning rate by 10%. And they're also unionized. This employee is an active member of the Enchanting Union. Their salary is 50% higher. However, good working conditions mean tiredness, boredom, and hunger lower 20% faster. So when they're resting, they will recover to full satiety 20% faster. Fun teacher is best teacher. Fun. Students in this teacher's class get bored half as fast. Now, that doesn't drop their boredom. It just reduces the speed at which they become bored. Under the King's protection is actually quite nice. Under the King's protection, when teaching, this teacher may increase your reputation with the King. The reputation with the various outside factions, which we will get to, is really important. Round belly, this teacher gets hungry faster. This glorious belly needs to be maintained. And pretentious. Their presence increases the boredom of other characters. These probably negate each other. In fact, this one, I think, does slightly overpower this, but this basically dulls how useful fun is, but it does nothing to stop other teachers getting bored in their presence. Over here, we've got someone who's, again, lawful good, so lawful characters will reduce, and we can select students based on their alignment if we want to. If we want to get really down to that, we want only like lawful evil shadow druids in our school. Then we can do that. Ancient wisdom students in this class learn 10% faster. Now that's awesome. Gourmet. Hunger lowers 30% faster while this student is eating. Well, it's not a student, but yes. So they will reach satiety a lot faster. Elder, much slower than other members of staff. Also slow. Moves 20% slower. So, soft, slow, always late to class. An actual slug. They're not as fast as they used to be, but look at their gorgeous beard. I mean, you've both got gorgeous beards, frankly. I would have given it to you on the beard thing, but that is a pretty awesome beard as well. Look at the moustache. The problem with that is that it's double slow. Honestly, all other things being equal, I would have actually gone for you based on these and the fact you don't have pretentious, but the double slow will be painful to deal with. Lizard odds. There is a lot of micromanaging you can do in this, but it will slow you down lots if you go for it. Yeah. No, absolutely. This is one of those games where you can get as into it as you want to, or not. You can just click on things, and to a certain degree, the game is quite forgiving. You don't have to care about all of this stuff. You will not be as efficient if you don't. You won't be able to, dive into the real depth of the like role playing. Like, yes, this is an evil university of evil shadow druids for evil people, and that can be quite fun to do. But you don't need that level of micromanaging. You can just be like, okay, just quickly at a glance, this one's better. Click, and go ahead with it. It's not going to be an enormous penalty to you. It really won't. So, choose the better hat. I mean, that is fair. But I think we're going to go with you. And since we have got some names already. Oh, poop. I brought you in already. Let me go select teacher. Where are you? There we are. I can still rename you. You shall be renamed Swooping Falcon. What a fantastic... Hang on a second. If I'd... It's like the fates have spoken. Our beast magic teacher is named Swooping Falcon. Cannot be better than that. How truly amazing. All right, I've just redeemed that for you. It is truly appropriate, yeah. Aavak, praise you. Allergies are murdering me and I need your dulcet tones. I'm sorry to hear that, mate. Right, so that one's all set up. So we've now got a teacher lounge. We've also got a student hall. I can place a student hall wherever I particularly want to. I can place a teacher lounge down there. I think I'm going to place the student hall. We'll have this just above the dormitory. Tunk. And then the teacher's lounge can be... This can be wherever the hell I want it to be. But I think the teacher's lounge... We could have it on the same layer as well, honestly. That isn't actually that bad of a choice. And the reason why that isn't as bad of a choice is that if I do have something which massively increases the efficiency of everything on the same level, I generally want it where people are going to be learning because, you know, getting them up those high levels of learning is really important. But additionally, it'll also speed up the recovery of my teachers, which is a big thing. Sure, we'll pop that one right there. Look at that. Glorious roof. Wow. Next up, nature room. I'm going to pop our nature room. Kind of want it over there, but... I also don't necessarily want that there, but... Oh well, we'll pop it in here. Right, so nature teacher. Rita Aldine or Malcolm Randall. Chaotic good, chaotic evil. Both of them, appropriate pedagogy. That one's good, because this one's minus 10% on their learning rate. Both of them are unionized, but this is chaotic good. Corpo sano. Slows the growth rate of needs by 20%. 2 hours of exercise twice a day, and occasionally some work. Under the King's protection. Another one, which would give us kingly influence. They are a poser. Boredom grows 20% faster for all other characters in the room. And procrastinator. Acts and gets tired 25% slower. However, Hawk-eyed, active students in the same room misbehave 75% less for 2 minutes and clumsy. Active student... Ooh, okay, this is almost an automatic no for me unless very much mitigated by other things. 50% more chances to suffer from magical aberrations. Magical aberrations are pretty rough. They can be things from... You know, it's like, let's learn to make a gust of wind. Oh my God, you've invoked a tempest in the room. And someone has added fire to it. It's now a massive pillar of flame that we're going to have to run away until someone comes along and dissipates this maelstrom of fire and destruction. And so it completely ruins the lesson and everyone runs off. Or, worse, someone is like, I'm learning to grow... mandrakes in the greenhouse. Oh, what's this? My head is now a pumpkin. I see. I've got a pumpkin head. Okay, this is going to be an interesting day. On the plus side, pumpkin heads don't get hungry very quickly. I'm not sure how to interpret that. Either as pumpkins don't hunger in the same way, or they're eating the inside of their own face. And they're staving off hunger for longer. See, the sensible part of me is going for option one, but the goblin chaos part of me is like, nah, option 2 it is. They're eating their own inside of their own face. 100%. It's the only logical explanation. I think we're going to be going with you. Arnish. Oh, my God. I need to click on that button better. No, go away. Thunk. So this will be Arnish. Arnish Randall, you shall be. Because you didn't give me another name. Demi of Derp, would you like to do the honors of redeeming the name in games so that we don't end up double-clicking? Demi of Derp is very, very good at that job. And I don't give them enough time, and then I start randomly clicking, and then I just make their job harder. I'm such a scallywag. Random Randall. Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, and then the final room, the Shadow Room. Now, are we going to build this up top, or are we going to build this down bottom? I think, well, I wasn't really looking to build a third story yet, but maybe this can be the nature floor, and then this can be the shadow floor. Sure, shadow floor it is. Lawful evil. Look at those shoulder pads, though. Dear God. Every time you raise your hand, you're going to stab yourself in the cheek. We've got Jackson Devil and Ruby Potato. Lawful evil, mediocre, unionized. Okay, appropriate's almost automatically a win. Punctual, another one under the king's protection. We basically wouldn't have to do anything for the king to like us. Demanding their wages 30% higher. Right. You're not unionized, though, but... See, the thing is, you're almost unionized in terms of your wages, but you don't get the benefit that comes along with being unionized. Punctual, though. Moves faster than most characters. Voracious. Hunger lowers 30% slower while this character is eating. Courageous deals 35% more damage in combat. Poser. Greedy increases their own salary by 100%. They like money, which makes their choice of profession quite peculiar. Wow, that's hitting a bit close to home, isn't it? I'm a greedy character. Why did you become a teacher? You idiot. What were you thinking? I think... See, this is going to be really expensive for that 10%. There are ways of improving this. But this one's almost unionized without the benefit, which is a pain in the bum. This one, the growth rate of needs and unionized means that their needs are going to grow incredibly slowly. Lily Among Thorns, thank you ever so much for the Prime sub. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Second month, best month. Welcome back. Moochie Beer, thank you very much for the Prime as well. Sorry for missing that earlier. I think we are going to go with you, but this is going to be an expensive teacher, a very expensive teacher. We might be able to get rid of the greedy trait, though, depending on what items we can find. Right, who's up next? It's Zuna. Zuna Devil. There we go. I think we selected you. Yep. To be fair, the pay for a magic teacher is probably better than a peasant farmer. That is true. That is true. Under king protection does give you better gold later. Yes, that is also true. Yeah, greedy can be gotten rid of at least. Now, we've got a fawn. This creature wanders the school and greatly decreases the growth rate of and tiredness and hunger and boredom of nearby teachers for a long time. And we've got several places that we can put a fawn. And one of the first places is going to be in the stable. Chunk. There we go. That makes me sad. There is a shackle here for our fawning creature. What? Oh, wait. Sorry. No, I forgot. We're shadow druids. That makes perfect sense. 100% in character. Yes. We're evil druids, and we chain up our creatures. Okay. Now, new houses. We've got 2 new houses, but I'm only going to use one. And the reason for that is throughout the first year, I think it's at least within the first year, but very early on in any campaign, you'll get 3 different quests. One of them will be your main quest, like your curriculum quest, and it will require a certain amount of students to graduate with a particular type of graduation. Keeping one house aside so that you can dedicate that house to prioritizing that, prioritizing the types of education to try and maximize how quickly you can get that graduation is a good idea. You can also have other houses for other things if you want to, or you can just have one that you can put people into. Because right now we've got a general house. It's just general class. It doesn't look like anything. This is the uniform. This is the heraldry. Everything is allowed. It doesn't give any kind of bonuses. It's not great. So what we want to do, we drink unicorn blood. Yes, that is exactly what we do. We're going to need a new house. Chosen by the light, jack of all trades is quite a nice one. All right, so all houses have 2 features. The crest is set in stone when you make it. The features are set in stone when you make it. The uniform can be changed whenever, and what is forbidden allowed and what's a priority can be changed whenever. I don't believe the name can be changed, but it might also be something that we can change whenever we want. The way I usually go for houses is I will make a general house with the first one that is not trying to specialize in any type of magic, but is instead trying to create a useful house for me to put people into if I don't have a more specific house that I need to put them into, but has generally good positive traits that will make any students in it. Because basically any student put into this house will gain these 2 traits. For example, let's say jack of all trades here means that they will learn the first level of all magic disciplines that they study 100% faster. That can be very good because there are a bunch of graduations that only need like level 1. Passionate learns the 4th and last magic level 25% faster. So if you knew that you needed to get a certain type of skill later on that required very high levels of magic, which take a long time to get, maybe switching this into the quest school just because it has passionate would be a solid move. Worker learns all magic 10% faster. Popular doubles prestige gain or loss at the end of their study. So when someone graduates, you'll get prestige based on the type of thing they graduate into. Go figure, becoming a peasant farmer doesn't net you prestige. In fact, it loses you prestige. Becoming an archmage gets you prestige, so on and so forth. The higher your university's prestige, the more students you will attract. Play cards to increase prestige. Diligent generates 10% more mana while studying. So while someone is studying at a certain class, they will generate mana of that class. So we probably don't want popular for now, but diligent instead. So that this is a house that we can put people into to generate mana. Jack of all trades will mean that they will at least get the first level of whatever they're studying 100% faster, but then beyond that don't get any benefit. Or alternatively, we can make a house of diligent workers. Diligent workers will be quite solid, I feel. Passionate plus chosen by the light for light class is ridiculous. Yeah, but as I just explained, I prefer to have the first house I use is a general class that isn't trying to specialize in anything, but is simply going to be like my alternate for the general house, which has no benefits. This one will just have people. I can just throw them in there if I don't want to try and focus them on something. I think it is generally really useful until you've got your quests to just have a generalist house. So, diligent workers. Oh man, it's just see the go-to thing whenever it's like diligent workers. And where I want to go with that, given the current climate of the world, is like maybe not right now. That's sad. So sad. But they're going to be allowed to do whatever. They're just going to have a basic rope. In fact, I'm going to give them this one. Let's have a look. What kind of heraldry do we want? A nice... Is it like a hammer? No, maybe not. Again, damn it. You know what? Sure. This one isn't too bad. This one isn't too bad at all. Let's change the colouring. We want a nice, bold orange. And I think the background should be...
looking dapper.
Black and red. Darker red. There we are. I think this will be perfect. Now, what's the name of the house? Now, the way the houses were named in the school that I went to, and in fact, as far as I'm aware, it still is the case in all Welsh schools. You have houses, and they're typically named after mythological figures from the Welsh legends. Pwyll, Rhiannon, Bendigeidfran, Branwen, Matholwch. So we need a name. I kind of like this part of me is like I want to like build my school experience, but at the same time, we want elves. Short elves. Aavak. Ooh, that's fantastic. Yes, Aavak. The House of Dwarves. This is perfect. Diligent workers. I approve. Okay. Aavak it is. Well done, Chair. All right, now new students. We're not going to be naming them. We got Dennis Iron Fist. It's like you were born to be in House Aavak. You're a shadow disciple. Learns shadow magic 25% faster. Procrastinator. You act and get tired 25% slower, and you're hyperactive. Misbehaves a lot, but moves a bit faster. Okay. You're well off, though. You'll be here for 7 years. Improves all gold gains from this student by 25%. You're a neutral good. All right. House Aavak it is. Robert Winterfall. I swear I saw that Winterfell. I was like, dear Lord, really? Jack of all trades, passionate. Claustrophobia, learns shadow magic 25% slower. That's a shame. Heavy sleeper, but that's fine. You're going into House Aavak as well. Lucy Patoon. You're a bit slow. Reduced learning rate. Well off, though. You're going to be here for 5 years. You're an orphan. Oh. If this student were to die, you would not lose any prestige. That is so harsh. Losing parentless children saves a lot on paperwork, on making up far-fetched excuses for their progenitors. That is so dark. So dark. My lord. Alchemy apprentice, though, also claustrophobic, so you don't like shadow magic. It's a shame. Courageous here. Ruth Scorsonier. You're brilliant. You learn magic 40% faster. Chaotic good. Average. You're only going to be here for 3 years, though. That's a shame. Allergic to crustaceans. They learn alchemy 50% slower. Bibliophobia. Makes for inefficient library work. And Laura Trusfleur. Normal, poor, here for 7 years. You're an arcane scholar and chosen by the light. Nice. You've got 2 specialities there, neither of which we teach currently, but that's quite good. You're aggressive. Their insults make the targeted students lose much more sanity. Aggressive students cannot stop hitting their peers. It's a law of nature. You're also a hypochondriac. Slowly loses health over time. The best for them would be to have a personal nurse. Oh, dear Lord. Okay. Well, I mean, it is what it is. You can totally do things like set up houses and stuff like that, where, for example, you would put all of the bullies or the aggressive people, because that house has something like steadfast, I think it is, which massively reduces sanity lost. So you put all the people who are going to cause their fellow students to lose sanity into that class, though that's assuming that they all go to the same class together. Now, that isn't always the case. The converse way of doing it is to take anyone who has a natural loss of sanity, like, for example, they're particularly vulnerable to being bullied, and put them in the house which buffs up their mental fortitude, so that when they inevitably do get shouted at by an aggressive person, they can just brush it off a little bit. And you can have like places like you wouldn't put a beautiful person there because they don't need any mental fortitude because they're pretty. And even when people are mean to them, they just don't care because they know they're pretty. And it's like, you don't need to shield them quite as much. But nevertheless, there we go. That's everyone set up now, and we can finally unpause. Boom. You can start listening to some music.